Hello and welcome back to FACTSLAP. It seems like today everyone's just trying to shove themselves in your face. Quick cutscenes, bright lights, look at me, I'm so pretty. Well, don't forget, you're pretty too. Pretty special. And without you here, the world would be a much, much different place. Never forget that. Now everybody knows DNA is essentially what makes us all different. But who the hell cares, because everybody has it. It's still a small win, just like your very first win, when you were the first one to the egg out of 100 million.
Yay!
Making me proud. And the next thing, making you an individual unto yourself, is finger and toe prints. But did you know, we also have tongue prints. That's right. Next time you're out doing something mischievous, remember, don't lick anything, especially doorknobs. It's like the dirtiest thing in the world. And the next is that each person has their own individual smell. That's why your dog can find you so easy, and that's why your friends know when you're coming.
Bruh.
But this is due to us having individual bacteria on our skin. Everybody has bacteria, sorry germaphobes, but each one is different to each person. And to go even deeper into that, they did a study on belly buttons. And oh my god, the bacteria in the belly buttons was so unique to each person that one man had bacteria from an Asian rice field, and he'd never even left the country of the United States. And one more thing. Our eyes have 3 different cones in them, and they're red, green, and blue. That's how we interpret the visible light spectrum in the world around us, and that's what gives color to everything. Now, on the visible light spectrum, ultraviolet would be purple, but we can't see that. Ultraviolet is impossible to see, so our mind has to play some tricks to be able to see the color purple. So the purple you see is completely different than the purple that anyone else sees. Oh, but we're not stopping there, because that's all the specialness you get just from being born. Now, did you know our body's ability to adapt is almost on a superhuman level? For example, one man, Alex Vendrell, practiced holding his breath for over 3 years. Now he holds the world record at 24 minutes and 3 seconds for holding his breath underwater. Now, he was laying still, so he actually wasn't expending too much energy, but in another case, there's a tribe called the Bahayu, also known as the Fish People, out in Indonesia. They live on the water, they hunt on the water, and they make love on the water. Their spleens have evolved to be 50% larger because they've spent so much time in the water. Now, what our spleens do for us when we're underwater is they push oxygenated blood into our system, helping increase our oxygen content by about 9%. But for them, they can hold their breath underwater, hunting, fishing, swimming, doing all that stuff, for a total of 13 minutes.
Ew.
And don't worry, you don't have to live at sea for multiple generations to do this. Hell, you don't even have to practice.
Awesome.
Anytime you go over 5,000 feet, your body will automatically start to acclimate and raise your red blood cell content to give you more oxygen. Now, something that does take a little bit of practice and that anyone can do is weightlifting. And some people who took that to an extreme would be Nathan Baptist, setting the world record for squatting at 1,311 pounds. And next up, Hafthor Bjornsson, setting the world record in deadlifting at 1,104 pounds. That sounds so risky. And coming in last but not least, bench pressing literally the back half of your geo, is Julius Maddox, maxing bench at 782.6 pounds.
Oh, Lord.
Hell, if I practice long enough, maybe even one day, I can be strong too.
Firepower.
But don't leave yet, there's more. Now we all know about evolution, and things we don't need from that, like wisdom teeth in your coccyx, or your tailbone. But some people are starting to be born without this muscle in their wrist. It's something that used to aid us in our grip, but now it's so useless that sometimes, in plastic surgery, they'll remove it and use it in other places. And some people can even trace their genes all the way back to Neanderthals. Now the easiest way to tell is there'll be a small bump at the back of the skull, the very top of the neck, and this is remnants of the occipital bun that Neanderthals used to have. Now this is neither good nor bad, probably means you got pretty big hands. When evolution taketh away, it giveth back as well. Apparently a little under 5% of the population have bones that are 8 times as dense, making them nearly unbreakable in normal situations. And this was found out because a man was in a car wreck that was super severe, yet he didn't break or fracture a single bone. Researchers later found out that the rest of his family had this as well, due to one of the family members having a bunch of failed hip surgeries because the doctors couldn't screw into their bone. But did you know having colored eyes is a mutation itself? About 8% of the population have blue eyes, while 5% of the population have hazel eyes. Now 3% of the population has gray eyes, and 2% of the population have green eyes. But even less than 1% of the population has red or violet eyes, and even less than that have heterochromia, where one eye is a different color than the other. Now to take it even further on the evolutionary scale, there's a boy in China called Nong Yu Wei, also referred to as the cat-eyed boy, and that's because his eyes have night vision, just like a cat. He can see in complete darkness. They gave him a questionnaire in a room with no lights, no windows, and he filled it out perfectly. Well, it seems to be that time again. I bid you adieu. Never forget, we care about you here at FACTSLAP, and if mushrooms can grow through shit, so can you.